Alf. Ken Goldin absolutely freaks out.
What I don't like.
And we've got popular breaker Run Good Life James with a blistering take about what some of the other breakers have done to WNBA Prism first off the line. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? A little bit of drama today in today's episode of the Sports Card Dad. Before I dive completely in, huge thanks to justcollect.com. You've got a collection that you want to sell, but you have no idea where to go with it. How can I get more information? And what if they had a YouTube channel dedicated to interviews with high-profile collectors and offering hobby education? It's there at justcollect.com and the Just Collect YouTube channel, an easy appraisal form there on their website, so make sure to check it out. Card Capsule. You want supplies that are quality and you don't want to pay an absolute fortune for them. I have got a promo code down below in the video description, whether that's cases or semi-rigids, top loaders, all the goodness. Make sure to check out my links. All of the different hobby affiliate links down there can get you discounts, which would include SlabMags. Color match these puppies. Get some surface protection on your cards with SlabMags. Sports Card Dad promo code gives you 10% off your SlabMags. Display like a boss and protect the surface with UV protection. All right, as we've talked about, the one-of-one Paul Skenes debut patch pulled by an 11-year-old out there in the LA area caused all sorts of waves across the hobby. Everybody excited, some people angry, and one of those angry people is Ken Goldin over at Goldin Auctions. He put out, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, but he did kind of a little video series explaining how he felt about the fact that Topps created the card, and subsequently Fanatics Collect is able to get a hold of this thing and get it up for auction. And Ken Goldin, man, that burned him. Let's actually hear a couple of clips of what he had to say here.
What I don't like is the fact that Topps, by nature of its parent company, owns an auction house that specializes in selling Topps cards. That there are cards out there that are high value and are being placed into packs as redemptions, so that when those cards are redeemed, if the individual owner wants to be quiet about it and redeem it through Topps, Topps is the only one that has access to that owner's information and really has an exclusive negotiation with that person. To make sure every single person knows, and this applies to every single Topps product, if there is a redemption, any redemption that is valued at $10,000 or more, we at Goldin won't top. We will annihilate any offer that you get from anybody.
So there you have it. Ken is saying that he's going to annihilate, he's going to obliterate any other offer that you might have if you happen to have Topps cards, and specifically he's speaking to redemption cards. He feels that Topps Fanatics has got an advantage there. If you've got a huge mega card, a one-of-one or something that's coming out of a new product, and then to redeem it, you have to go to Topps, well, that gives the Fanatics Collect folks a exclusive negotiation, is how he explains it. We do know with the Skenes card, according to Collect.com, the owners of that card, they not only went to Fanatics Collect, but they also went to Robert Edward Auctions and Heritage Auctions. So they did go outside of Fanatics Collect. And so, Ken, I know you've got the marketing machine. I know you've got the Netflix show, but you didn't reach this family for whatever reason. They decided to go to other options instead. And I know I come heavy on breaking, my friends, but I want to showcase an example here when we talk about breakers, or maybe specific breakers, raising the price for all. This is a perfect example of it. This was called out by James at Run Good Life. Longtime hobbyist, worked at ComC for a long time, has been in the breaking space, really knows the game. He knows his stuff, and he is a big-time breaker, reputable one. The one thing I like about James, I've said this before, is he will actually say it when a product he feels is overpriced, there's not great EV coming out of these boxes, these packs. He will be honest about it, even though he is breaking it and he's showcasing the cards and that sort of a thing. He will say, yeah, this one is good, but it's not great, or I like this product for value. Brought up previously as an example, Top Stadium Club Baseball. He opens up tons of new product. Long-time hobbyist, so I do trust what he has to say. And he came out here and was talking about specifically how a few breakers and I guess online retailers spent about $3.5 million to buy out. And of course, Panini's got the reverse Dutch auction thing, which is going to open the door for this. So what happens with the reverse Dutch auction, for people that don't know what I'm talking about, is Panini will start like with WNBA Prism. I don't know where they started it at, the ceiling, but maybe it's $3,000. Maybe it's $4,000. And they run the sale for first off the line, and that price moves down until it sells out. So gives everybody an opportunity to buy boxes. But if you've got a few well-capitalized breakers, you think $3.5 million, that's an insane amount of money. That shows you how big our breaking space is now. On one product, on WNBA Prism, the chase for Caitlin Clark, and there's a few other chases, but really it's a huge Caitlin Clark chase. $3.5 million, no problem. You can literally get this from a handful of companies, maybe 7 to 10 companies can very easily run through here and snap up all of that product. And so what happens for the average collector that was going to buy a first off the line box? It's going to be more, obviously. They just bought it out at $2,200 a box. They're going to mark it up. They're going to sell breaks off of that. So the idea that breakers don't raise the price on new product coming out, it's just not true. This is a perfect example of how this does happen. Now, I will give breakers a pass here in that, hey, breakers wouldn't be able to do this if people weren't spending millions and millions of dollars in the breaking space. So it is the customers, the consumers, the gamblers, the hobby gamblers that are really kind of driving this thing. But the moral of this story, if we're really looking at the big picture here, is, and what James is speaking to, is you basically have to hit a Caitlin Clark out of 20 just to break even. Just to break even on this, whether you're probably opening up a box that you buy on the secondary market now, that's going to be probably a lot higher than $2,200, or if you're buying into break spots for this sort of thing. And this, of course, opens up conversation for people like me when I'm looking at, why would I open a hobby box, whether it's just buying a box, or why would I go into a break when I'm just looking at the numbers here and it's inflated. It's already inflated. The odds were already against you, but then when you add in this element and it's even more elevated, that's why when we go to see, watch, just like every other kind of new product that's been coming out, you're going to see all the people that tune in to watch people get annihilated on these breaks, because that's really how it works nowadays. Most people, 80, 85, 90% estimated, they don't win in these break spots. And it's simply because we do have now, it's a big business where $3.5 million to sell out a product, no problem. Breakers can cover that. And so that's what I mean when I talk about excessive breaking. I think breaking has utility. I think there's a place for it. But this is excessive breaking. Now it's too big. It's too big to where the average collector hobbyist, they're not going to be able to get involved at any sort of a reasonable price where they're going to get cards back. And it's why we always talk about on the channel, singles. Wait for the singles to hit. They will come because people have bought into these breaks. They're going to need to recover some of the money back. And so when the Caitlin Clarks get hit, or whatever product is next, whether that's football, baseball, whatever it might be, the singles market, they're going to pop out there on eBay. Unless you're looking for, again, like a debut patch or a one of something, the extremely rare stuff, then yeah, I guess you have to dive in and hope for the best and play the lotto. But if you're just looking for an average player, anything else that's not the mega hit, the singles market, man, the singles market is where it's at, because these people, they have to sell and they have to just keep this thing going. Whether they're going to buy no more breaks, buy more hobby boxes, etc., they've got to sell these cards. So for the singles buyer, and I know people are like, dude, you're a singles buyer, so you should love this. I do love that part of it. I don't love the fact that 80 to 90% of new people coming into the hobby that might start with a break don't come back or are not interested anymore because they think that this is today's hobby and then it ends with that. And that's not the case. There's a lot of ways to enjoy this hobby. All right, friends, that's all I've got today. Stay healthy, stay awesome. I'll talk to you again later.